Welcome to the big reading. This is the first meeting and the first video of the Stellar Book Club. And I'm excited to talk about Think and Grow Rich, the first book that we're reading. You can learn more about the Stellar Book Club and join at stellayan.com/book club. The idea of it is we pick one big book every month, and every book is connected to a specific energy because we have four energies. We have earth, air, water, and fire, and they all relate to something. So the first book that we're reading is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And this is the energy of the air, which is expanding our mindset and being a little bit more advanced when it comes to the way we use our conscious mind. And you will see soon enough that this has something to do with the subconscious mind as well. So the first lesson of Think and Grow Rich is that your thoughts define your reality. Think like a success and you will become one. And this is one of the quotes from Robin Sharma, I think it was. Everything is created twice, first in the mind and then in reality. So riches begin with a state of mind, with definiteness of purpose, with little or no hard work. What does this mean? It means that your belief system is going to define your approach to success. So if you've been conditioned to believe that only hard work will get you to succeed, then you will show up for the work and work tirelessly every single day, which is not to say that this is not going to get you to success. It just means that your belief system thinks this is the only way I can succeed in life. So reconditioning your mind starts with you shifting those beliefs and allowing yourself to take more breaks and allowing yourself to be kinder to yourself, because reconditioning your mind is precisely that. You getting to the root of why you believe only hard work to the point of exhaustion will get you to succeed in life. And there are two more quotes around this idea that thoughts define your reality. Every man is what he is because of the dominating thoughts which he permits to occupy his mind, which is to say, your mind will always have thoughts. And these thoughts, their natural state is that of entropy. The natural state of your thoughts is to be everywhere all the time. And it's you, in the role of the director, that can select the thoughts that you want to follow and direct your energy. So the other quote, the human mind is constantly attracting vibrations which harmonize with that which dominates the human mind, means that whatever thoughts you decide to follow, decide to believe, encourage, strengthen, whatever train of thought that you decide to pursue, that will attract vibrations that will be a match to those thoughts. And these vibrations could be the vibrations of anger. Maybe you believe in angry thoughts. Why is nothing working for me? And you get angry that you're constantly failing, your attempts are not working. Maybe you have the energy of gratitude that you are able to transcend above any failures and say, I'm grateful that I have the opportunity to try again. I'm grateful that I have all these talents and all these skills. So your thoughts really define your reality, but it's not just because you're reinforcing certain thought patterns. It's because there's energy that is being attracted to these thoughts. So when you have a rich mindset or rich spirit that cannot be taken to the state of mind that is poor based on what you're experiencing now, your vibration will be high, regardless of what you're experiencing in the present moment. So lesson number one, your thoughts define your reality. Lesson number two, desire can be turned into gold. And what is desire? It's knowing what you want. And this has more to do than just thinking, oh, I want the latest iPhone, or I want a new handbag, or I want a new car. Before we can accumulate riches in great abundance, we must magnetize our minds with intense desire for riches. And this has to do with you expanding your mindset around what a rich lifestyle means for you. So it's not just acquiring one asset, two assets, a series of assets. It's you understanding what you're actually desiring to embody. What is the experience that you wake up to every single day, that you embody when you go to the office? What is the energetic presence that you have? That is the desire that turns your reality into gold, because that is the frequency that you're carrying with you. As I said, this book has a lot to do with consciousness, and a lot to do with spirituality, because it talks about abundance and richness and money and financial literacy in a way that allows you to reconnect with your inner world and unlock what it is that you want to actually ground into the universe, into the world, by being yourself. Again, we have two more quotes here. The emotion of love in the human heart and brain creates a favorable field of magnetic attraction, which causes an influx of the higher and finer vibrations, which are afloat in the ether. So, we're talking about using the power of love, the power of activating your heart chakra. What is this? This is the fourth energetic center in your body. And this is the energetic center that allows you to lead with love, lead with kindness, lead with compassion. And it allows you to stay more often to the frequency, at the frequency of love and the higher frequencies of acceptance and gratitude. The subconscious mind resembles a fertile garden spot in which weeds will grow in abundance. Once again, if you remember the title of this book, it's called Think and Grow Rich. So, the subconscious mind is being compared to a garden, because your thoughts, if they are abundant, they will bring the money. But you don't plant coins in your garden. You don't plant coins in your garden. And ironically, there is a treasure chest that is buried in your garden, in everyone's garden, in everyone's mind, because they can generate ideas. But the way that you approach your subconscious mind, if you think about it as a garden, is you plant seeds every single day and you return to your garden to see which parts of that garden need more of your attention, more of your love, more of your caring, compassion, and empathy. And it really is about that examination of your inner world. So if you are passionate about gardening, this is the most obvious example. What you're going to do every single day is read more books about how to be a better gardener, read more content around the different types of soil and how the shifts in the environment are contributing to the growth of your garden. You're going to connect with other gardeners on social media. You're going to expand your network about something that you're passionate about. So the more you act in alignment with that desire to turn your gifts, your blessing, your passion, your purpose into gold, the more you will do that through your actions. And you have to be surrounded by that which you're passionate about. If you're passionate about gardening, you cannot allow yourself to be surrounded by gossip. That's just one example. You cannot allow yourself to be surrounded by negativity. You have to be surrounded with that which you're passionate about. And you have to be surrounded with people that are also passionate about it, because that is your purpose, that is your calling. You're being moved in a specific direction. You have to honor that direction by honoring your desires. And it's quite interesting that Napoleon Hill writes about the garden of your mind and planting the seeds, because this is exactly what I used as a metaphor to launch Big Souls and Big Ideas, one of my podcasts. That abundance is a mindset shift, and it starts with planting these abundance seeds into the garden of your mind, because we have wasted so much time and energy and opportunities in small talk, in communities everywhere, at work, at home, at school. There are so many riches within our own minds already that are ready to be discovered, that are ready to be shared. But it really starts with replacing some of that small talk with big talk. And once again, if you look at the visual of this book, there is a coin here, but that coin is really your ideas. So it's about you learning how to bring your big ideas down to earth. And if you think of your garden as empty right now, it's because there are seeds that you haven't watered, that you haven't taken care of, or there is space for you to plant your seeds so that it can bloom and blossom. Your mindset can bloom and blossom, because when your mind is blossoming, you're going to start to spot opportunities for collaboration, for growth, for creativity, for innovation, wherever you go, because this is your garden that you're carrying with your presence. And the more you're going to start to spot other people's gardens, because they're approaching their life in the same way as you. Lesson number 3, purpose becomes your North Star. So ideas can be transmuted into cash through the power of definite purpose. Once again, think about what is it that you want and what is it that you're visualizing. There's one quality which one must possess to win, and that is definiteness of purpose, the knowledge of what one wants and a burning desire to possess it. And it's very beautiful that this is a book that connects this to our mindset, because everything starts with our mindset. We need to be able to realize what it is based on our experiences, which is using the logical mind. We need to be able to visualize it, once again, using the logical mind and putting the pieces together internally, so we can maybe put it into a vision board externally and look at it, and then connect it to that vibration that is invisible, that is connected to the subconscious mind, which is one level deeper than the mindset. It's the heart space, it's the attitude. So the ideas are the beginning points of all fortunes. Ideas are products of the imagination. So man's limitation lies in his development and use of his imagination. So the only thing that's stopping you from realizing your ideas and turning them into gold is yourself. It's your ability to perceive situation from a different point of view. Once again, we're staying at the level of the mindset, knowing that whatever mindset we have, that is going to determine the level of the energy that we embody as well, the frequency with which we operate into the world. But when you have your purpose, when you have your drive, when you have your knowing, there is nothing that can stop you. There is nothing that can defeat you, because you have already activated your limitlessness. Because yes, you are limitless. So if you go to my website, you're going to discover my podcast, Born to Do It, that talks about finding your purpose. And the way that I do this is I help people unlock some of their natal birth chart details, where there is actual information as to your purpose, including your North Node, as in your current mission, what you're here to do, in terms of what your consciousness is here to understand based on the research that you're here to conduct, because your consciousness is a database and you're crunching the numbers and programming every single day. So the more that you master your thoughts, the better programmer you become of your mindset. This is a great podcast for you to start to understand how to operate with the information that is available for you to unlock more of your purpose with external tools. Ultimately, you doing the inner work and looking within is going to help you understand what your purpose is. And once you do, that will become your North Star. Lesson number 4, failure is part of the process. And naturally, most successful people have failed a lot. Every failure brings with it the seed of an equivalent success. Why? Because we have the law of duality. And we also have the law of as above, so below. So the more you've lived, the more you've accumulated riches, the more you've accumulated experiences, and the more you've accumulated in life, generally speaking, the higher your as above becomes, because you're elevating, because you're ascending, you're reaching more people. So your exposure into the world is greater. But because it's a law of duality and equivalent, as above, so below. So if your impact is small, when you fail, it's going to have a small failure impact as well. The more you succeed in life, the more your failure is going to have an impact as well on you and on the people around you. But there's one thing that failure cannot cope with, and that is persistent. You cannot defeat a person who is committed to show up every single day. No man ever achieved worthwhile success who did not at one time or other find himself with at least one foot hanging well over the brink of failure. This has to do with there's always going to be that risk of you going from the top to the bottom in seconds, especially if you're, the process of investors and leading huge teams and making deals that you're not quite sure if you're going to be able to progress. That is part of your research. Remember that you're a spiritual being having a human experience. And when you have those moments of failure, they're not the end of your existence. They're not the end of your human existence either. They're just the end of a version of yourself that you're ready to transcend, ascend from. If life is a game and every single day it's a level, or every single season is a level, when you fail that level, ultimately at some point you're going to level up. You're going to finish that level and you're going to move to the next thing. And that's what happens is when you succeed at mastering the level that you're at, you're going to unlock the next level. But when you unlock the next level, you're going to be a beginner. So the same process is going to be repeated all over again. So you have to get used to failing. When you're playing a game, what happens? Think about that. When you're playing a game, what happens? You tend to repeat a lot of the levels. You always find a level that's like, oh, I can't just, why can't I, but you come back. You come back. Maybe it takes you a week, but you pass that level and you're on to the next one. And then you have to embody strategy again. You have to activate your thinking. You have to, maneuver. You have to learn the ropes of that level. You have to understand, oh, I have to make a left turn here, a right turn here. And in life, it's a little bit more exciting in some days because the level isn't the same. The lesson is probably the same that you have to learn, the life lessons, but the level isn't the same. So you don't go into a groundhog day of a level where you experience the same day all over again. You might be brought into different environments, meet with different people, book different conversations, try to pitch to different companies. But the lesson ultimately will be the same, because in the game of life and in the school of life, you're dealing with lessons. That's why your mindset is so important, because even if you succeed at one deal and you close that loop, remember that you started here, you close that loop, that process is going to start again. You're going to be a beginner once again at the next level, because it's something that you've never experienced before. So failure is always going to be part of the process. The subconscious mind must hand over to your practical plans for acquiring the money which is yours. So there is a theory that everything that you desire because a future version of yourself has already achieved it. So that is why the money is already yours. You're just aligning with that future version of yourself that is already using it. And there are multiple timelines, multiple ways that your life can turn out. So you've recognized that this is the timeline that you want to align with. So that is why the money is yours. You just haven't found the formula yet, and that is the level. You finding the formula, the winning decision, the winning habit, whatever it is, the winning choice. And so this is confirmation from your higher self that you've already achieved it, that you have already earned the money, the deals, the partnership. You just have to act in alignment with it, which is the hardest part for your subconscious mind, for you to actually believe that this is the case. And when you start to believe that, you need to hand over to your logical mind. So once you embody that frequency of gratitude, of appreciation, of love, because you're emanating that love, I did it, it's already mine, I've successfully achieved, I've successfully played the part that I wanted to play. Now it's time to come back to the mindset and create a plan for it. So think of yourself as coder. Once again, you're programming, you're crunching the numbers, you're creating that plan, and you're testing that plan. So the best part about this is that you can create a plan, you can test it for a week. If you see that it's not working, you can move on to the next plan. You can make adjustments to that plan if it's failing. Sky's the limit. You are limitless. You have limitless tools at your disposal, especially with AI. The possibilities are endless. There are so many software platforms, and some of them are offering free versions as well, so that you can use them. You can view them as an opportunity for you to level up faster by using the help that is available with online tools. Technology is not working against you. It's there to help you unlock more of your potential, as long as you don't quit. Quitting is not an option for success. This is the fifth lesson. Practical dreamers do not quit. And this is key here, practical. So dreamers that can apply their dreams into daily actions and unlock more of their potential by actually doing something about it, not just thinking about it. No man is ever whipped until he quits in his own mind. We're talking about mindset here because that is the starting point of all abundance and all generational wealth that is created into your lineage, but also across the world in terms of the general rule. So, close association with one who refuses to compromise with circumstances he does not like is an asset that can never be measured in terms of money. When you feel like you're about to quit, or when you have those seeds of doubt planted, which inevitably happens on your journey, especially when you are experiencing loss after loss after loss, those seeds of doubt will be planted. And they're usually not planted by you, they're planted by other people who do not want you to succeed, which is again part of your growth process. How are you able to deal with resistance? When you're playing a game, sometimes you have players working against you, especially if it's a team game. And other times you have the NPCs that have been instructed, that have been programmed to play against you, to slow you down. The same logic applies in real life. Those seeds of doubt might not be planted by you, but they're still in your garden. So you're responsible for taking them out. And what really happens in those moments of doubt is that you always have a choice to turn your attention to face that doubt and investigate it and maybe even listen to it, or say, no, I know that this doubt is not mine. So I will not associate with it. I'm going to uproot it from my belief system, let it go. I'm fully committed. This is my purpose. And in those moments, being around people that carry positive spirit, that carry this unbreakable spirit, people that are also aligned with the thinking, I am a winner, I am successful, I will find a way. These are your people in those times, because I guarantee you they're going through the same process like you. And also there's another element of, boosting yourself in those moments, especially if you are doing this journey on your own for the time being. You will discover that your greatest weakness is lack of self-confidence. So when you find that you're doubting yourself, the process, again, that doubt might not be coming from you, but it's being planted by other people. In those moments, believe in yourself. Sometimes we just need one person to believe in us. And when there isn't somebody in the physical world to believe in us, you be the person that believes in yourself. That is what changes the tone. That is what turns you into an unbreakable champion in your league, in your industry. That is how you build a legacy. You don't build a legacy by having all these supporters for years. You build your legacy by being unbreakable in your spirit, and then you understand who are your people and who aren't. Because on this journey to achieving your dreams, you will interrupt other people's plans. You will trigger other people's darkness because they're not ready to face their shadow self yet. You will interrupt the flow because you accomplishing your dreams, you're accomplishing something into the world, you bringing positive change means that you're going to change the status quo. And so you will have people that are against you for no other reason because they don't want things to change. But that is not up to them. They cannot stop change. Change is one of the only constants in life. And you can ride the wave of change and adapt, or you can be one of the quitters. And if you have made the choice not to be a quitter, you have to learn how to ride the wave of change. So that is number 5. Number 6, very crucial here in terms of the impact this book will have on your thinking, but also I think the impact that Napoleon Hill had writing it. Fate. Fate helps you do the impossible. Nothing is impossible for the person who backs desire with enduring fate. Your belief or faith is the element which determines the action of your subconscious mind. So faith really is a product of your belief system. Your belief system is your subconscious mind, and your subconscious mind is really closely linked to your inner child. That is to say that your belief system was built when you were a child. In the first 10 years of your life, you adopted a lot of the beliefs that are within you. within your own internal programming that unless you've taken the time to investigate, reprogram, change, they will be there. They will guide your life forward. And that is why we have so many adults into the world that are acting immature, that are acting like children, because they're quite literally being guided by that internal compass, that internal system, their belief system that is from their inner child. But because they haven't integrated their inner child, they haven't reconnected with their inner child, they haven't done the inner work to uplevel their belief system, uproot those false narratives, those false limiting beliefs, they are operating on autopilot with that immature belief system. Fate is huge because you will have seasons as you're building, as you're pursuing your rich lifestyle, abundant lifestyle, where you experience losses. And in those moments, faith will be your guiding principle because you will have people that also try to persuade you that maybe what you're doing is wrong because you're suffering so much losses and you're experiencing so much resistance. Once again, think about life as a game and all the NPCs that have been instructed to go against you in order for you not to level up. I mean, even Mario, he had so many monsters he had to go through and defeat in order to get to the castle. You can consider yourself as Mario or any other character and think about your life as any other game that we've, through the power of storytelling, for you to empower yourself to complete your missions and do the impossible because you are capable of doing it. A mind dominated by positive emotions becomes a favorable abode for the state of mind known as fate. The more you empower yourself with positive thinking, positive reinformations, the more you ride the wave of changes using the law of attraction in your favor. Because the law of attraction means that you're attracting at the level of your vibration. And sometimes our energetic frequency gets hijacked by other people because they bring their drama, they offload their negativity onto us, so we pick up on their state of mind, so our natural frequency gets lowered. So that is why it's essential that you empower yourself, you strengthen your inner world with positive emotions and positive thoughts. That is the only way that you can benefit from using the law of attraction in your favor, because the law of attraction is always working. You're just either using it to help yourself or you just ignoring it. That doesn't mean there are universal laws that are always at play, whether you know them or not. The more you know them and the more you know who you are, the more you can play the game of life and level up in a way that benefits you. And especially if you have a mission that is here that allows you to empower other people, you have to learn these laws because there are people that depend on you to become the leader that can ground these tools, these businesses, and so on. Faith is the element which transforms the ordinary vibration of thought created by the finite mind of man into the spiritual equivalent. As I mentioned, you are a spiritual being with limitless potential. And the more you embody that spiritual being that you are, the more you're going to understand how to expand on a daily basis, how to embody more of that limitless and release some of that limitlessness into the world. And your logical mind, your conscious mind is finite because, as I like to quote this quote from Einstein, logic will get you from A to Z, imagination will get you anywhere. Your subconscious mind, the power of the imagination will take you places beyond your logical mind because your logical mind is crunching the numbers, knowing certain amount of formulas, thinking if I do this, X or Y is going to happen. But in reality, when you publish a social media post, you don't know who it's going to reach. That is the power of fate and activating your frequency in a way that allows you to tap into that abundance that is available to all of us. And faith is a huge theme in this book. So think about what is that saying to your approach, to your thoughts. Faith removes limitations. Faith is the strongest and most productive of the emotions. Faith is the only antidote for failure. Faith is the basis for all miracles. Faith is the head chemist of the mind. Desire backed by faith knows no such word as impossible. We're not talking about religious faith. We are talking about faith that is this deep knowing, I believe that I'm destined for greatness. I believe that I am able to achieve the impossible. I believe that I'm on the right path to bringing positive change into the world. This is the type of faith that we're talking about here. Lesson number 7, decide that you will be rich. You have a brain and mind of your own. Use it and reach your own decisions. This is such an important point. When you're trying to get your name out there, when you're trying to build your career out there, you will be tempted to look at what other people are doing, or you will be tempted to share your plans with other people. And the biggest advice that I can give you is don't. First of all, get inspiration from people that are more successful than you. Follow the tips that they're giving you, because the most successful leaders are not saying to you, follow me, I know better. They're saying, hey, I tried this and it worked, so I want to share it with you. Maybe it's going to help you. They want to help you, they want to empower you. So follow leaders that give you tools and tips that you can apply in your own life without actually forcing you to be like them, because there's ego-driven leaders that just want you to worship them and follow them, and they're not leading you to be rich. They're leading you so that you can believe in them so that they can be rich. So when you're planning your vision board, when you're planning your life path, think about what it is that you want to do and connect with it. Create that bond with the life that you want to have, and don't share it with anyone. Not your best friend, not your parents, maybe your pets. I mean, as far as I know, pets, they are man's best friend, because they don't have the intentions. They're not tempted by, your big plans and say, oh, I can do it too. As far as I know, I mean, any pet owners there, if your pets have stolen your dreams, please write a comment. But so far, it's only other humans that tend to be kind of getting hostile with you when you say that you have big dreams, and suddenly they're like, no, things are going to change, life's going to change, what am I going to do without you, and so on and so on and so on. And so keep your dreams to yourself until you have something to share, and don't be surprised if people don't support you even when you have something to share. It's not about you, it's about them. If you're influenced by opinions when you reach decisions, you will not succeed in any undertaking, much less in that of transmuting your own desire into money. So when you're building your business, when you're building your courses, when you're building your book, when you're building whatever offering services, products that you want to give to the world, and even when you're building your own CV so that you can work for somebody else, nobody's saying that you have to envision just being a business owner and entrepreneur. You might want to build that path for you while still helping other businesses and contributing to other people's visions. People will always have an opinion, but when you have made the decision to be your own guiding force and to listen to that intuition, you will understand that you have to prioritize your voice above other people's desires, your desire above other people's desires. So people who fail to accumulate money without exception have the habit of reaching decisions, if at all, very slowly, and of changing these decisions quickly and often. Don't listen to the haters. Don't listen to the people that are trying to plant seeds of doubt into your garden. And when you make a decision that feels right with you, stick with it. Yes, there will be resistance, but you are the main character that will defeat and conquer whatever they need to defeat and conquer in order to get to that target. Because if you already have the desire to accomplish it, a future version of yourself has already accomplished it. And that's all you need to know in order for you to preserve that fate. If you do not see riches in your imagination, you will never see them in your bank balance. Many of us have been given glimpses when we're doing our vision boards, when we're manifesting, when we're trying to apply the law of attraction to everything that we do, when we're trying to be more grateful and operate with more mindfulness. We have been given glimpses of the future, best timelines, or timelines that are a lot more abundant than the one that we're experiencing right now, so that we can use the energy attached to those in the present moment. So we can operate within that frequency, within that space of it is already done. I have already achieved it. So when you're being given glimpses of a future in which you have already accomplished that which you're trying to accomplish, it's because you have. But you have to keep that faith. You have to keep reconnecting with that vision. And there's a reason this is a vision that's been given to you and not to your whole family, because you are the one that's going to be experiencing this. This is not a vision for your parents, for your sister and brother. This is for you, because we all have individual storylines to follow, timelines to accomplish, and missions to complete. So everybody has their own authentic storyline. And when you're trying to pursue yours, you're going to maybe break free from certain codependencies. So you will face some of the opinions of others because they are used to being those codependencies, but these are not healthy codependencies. They're codependencies created in society so that we don't find our authentic path, or it becomes too difficult, so we give up. We already know we don't give up. We don't quit. So lesson number 8, success and poverty consciousness. You have access to both. Which one do you choose to foster, develop, align with? More gold had been mined from the mind of man than the earth itself, which is to say that the gold is in here. It's the treasure chest are in your mind. They are in the garden space of your mind. You just need to reconnect with that inner child and discover where to dig to find those ideas, what types of projects you need to invest your time, what types of industries are you being redirected to, where you're going to find how to use those ideas. Because there is something that you won't be taught necessarily, maybe not even in this book, that just because you have the goat, just because you have the ideas, doesn't mean that these ideas are going to be appreciated in the same environments equally, in 2 different environments equally. So if you have an idea about changing the way that education is being approached, that idea might not be ready for the actual traditional education system, but it might be ready for the educational system for high performers. So you have to find your niche and where your goat will be seen as the goat that it is, will be valued with the value that it actually carries. Because it's very easy for people to devalue something they don't understand, something that they cannot apply straight away. So your goat is not worthless. But if people cannot understand that you're carrying gold, they will pay you as if you are carrying any other metal, as if you're carrying something that is worthless. That is how some people get discouraged as well. So knowing your own worth is key. The way of success is the continuous pursuit of knowledge. Whatever happens, invest in your self-growth daily. Those who are not successful usually make the mistake of believing that the knowledge acquiring period ends when they finish school. Every day is a school day. Every day is an opportunity for you to learn from a podcast, from a book, from content online, from creators online that are committed to sharing messages of empowerment and helping you live healthier. I have learned more from TikTok and YouTube in the past 2 years, more so TikTok, because of content creators that are really specializing in their niche. And they might be talking about something that I don't personally invest a lot of time thinking about. But when I hear that they have something of value to give, I recognize it and I understand that this is a gift from the divine, because that is how I approach life. Anything that is helping me, I take it as a gift from the divine and I apply it. I plant it as a seed that will grow so that I can share that with somebody else going forward. Self-reliance. Belief in one's ability to carry out a plan encourages one to follow the plan through with persistence. So your success consciousness, success mindset really relies on accountability. When you have the plan, when you have the faith, when you have the desire, when you know your purpose, it really is about showing up and doing the work daily. Your accountability does not align with other people's expectations of you, does not align with other people's external approval of you, external validation. Your accountability is your ability for you to show up for yourself every single day. And when you lead from that place of accountability, it's going to have a ripple effect. Whether you see the results straight away or you see it after a couple of years of you building your business, your products, your presence, your brand, whatever it is. Because accountability shows up. If you show up every single day and you plant new seeds in your garden, one day your garden is going to be blossoming. I'm wearing Frida Kahlo's t-shirt here, and this is very symbolic of what happens when you listen to your heart, when you listen to your dreams, when you follow that desire to create Look at the flowers. This is symbolic of the mindset. Your mindset, your success consciousness will be visible because of that accountability, because of the things that you're doing when nobody's watching. Because a lot of people can say, I did that and I did that, but when they start talking, or their habits will show if they're lying, if they're just copying other people, if they're just stealing other people's ideas. Because you're going to meet some people as well that have poverty consciousness and they just want to steal from other people because they don't want to do the work, and they think maybe this is all just one funny game where you can steal from other people and watch other people suffer and, discourage other people, but then get the benefits for yourself. Law of duality, law of karma, different universal laws that are always at play. Take educated risks more often. Speaking of education, the time will never be just right. Start where you stand. Think about this. If you started a year ago, where would you have been now? Maybe you won't have that 1 million subscriber, but if you didn't start a year ago, you wouldn't have even 100 subscribers today. You would just think about it. You'd be like, I am worthy of it. I know I can do it. Well, why aren't you doing it? There's a belief in your belief system. So we're going back to step 1 and step 2 and step 3 of the 10 lessons here. Your thoughts, your desire, your belief system, your imagination. If you're just thinking about it, but you're not doing anything about it, there is a belief system somewhere in you that needs to be uprooted. And this is very important. That is one of the tricks of opportunity. It has a sly habit of slipping in by the back door, and often it comes disguised in the form of misfortune or temporary defeat. Perhaps this is why so many fail to recognize opportunity. If you're launching a business, you're going to sacrifice a lot. You're going to invest a lot, and the return on investment might not show up in the first few months, first few years, because you are risking it all for a vision that is only here. But with the power of your imagination and the power of your desire and the power of your purpose and the power of that persistence, you will be able to accomplish it. Yes, you will experience losses, you will experience defeats, but that is the only way that you can get to the place where you want to go. Doesn't mean that you're going to the very top and you're staying there. It just means that you're moving higher, where you have unlocked more of your potential. And sometimes you will have to experience certain losses in order for you to get where you want to go, because it's unnecessary baggage that does not belong to that version of yourself. And I mean that if you want to launch a business, you probably need to quit your job, because your attention and your energy needs to be spent in empowering your garden in a way that is aligned with the business that you're trying to build. That will feel like misfortune or a temporary defeat, because you will not have a stable income. But what you're building will provide you with the stability for a lifetime when successful, not if, when successful. It really is about not giving up and working with the tools that are available and the guidance that is available. So if a certain calculation was wrong, just do the math again and change something around the way that you're offering solutions, or the way that you're approaching with your mindset, the way that you have to show up every single day for your habits and for the business actions. People refuse to take chances in business because they fear the criticism which may follow if they fail. And the thought that came to mind when I read this is that when you are trying to position your brand out there, it will involve for you to be vulnerable. You would have to show yourself authentically. You have to show up authentically. So if you've had to hide what you're really passionate about for years, or dim your light to make other people comfortable, you would have to learn how to take up more space. And if you are an empathetic leader that has always empowered other people, that's not going to go away, but you're going to have to give grace to yourself and give yourself more time and space for you to shine, for you to be able to expand yourself as the flower that you are. You have to give yourself the space and the time and the energy and the attention and the care for you to bloom into the version of yourself that you need to. Because if you think about a garden, and when you visit a sightseeing location, you go there just to spend time with that location, with the abundance that nature has to provide. Well, we are the same expression of nature. We are the same flowers that were blooming while simultaneously planting seeds in the gardens of our mind. So the leaders that are vibrant, that are charismatic, that have this energetic presence that inspires just when we're in the same room with them, you can be that person as well. But some of the risk in it is you're going to alienate certain people that are not aligned with you. And that is a risk that you have to take if you want to unlock more of your potential and think and grow rich. Because if you're hiding parts of yourself just to make other people feel comfortable, you're following their desire, not your desire. And you're discouraging yourself from a certain desire of yours to be seen and supported and loved for the person that you are, just so that you can match the desire of somebody else. So you have to be comfortable being yourself. The creative imagination functions best when the mind is vibrating due to some form of mind stimulation at an exceedingly high rate. So this has to say, when you're taking risks, you will find that your adrenaline levels increase. But you also find that in those moments, your ideas, your thinking is very sharp. You're able to download ideas. You're able to use your imagination in ways that you did not think was possible. And I've experienced that when applying for competitions or, finishing high school and university papers. When you're submitting that homework in the last minute, that project in the last minute, you suddenly have that burst of inspiration and you have that winning idea. This is a great short-term strategy, not a long-term strategy, because it takes a lot of energy and it might get you to a place of burnout quite easily. But if you need to take a risk and you're wondering, will I have everything that I need? Yes, your inspiration, your imagination will be activated just when you need it. Have faith in yourself, and that solution, that mindset shift will happen when it needs to happen for you to align with the next version. Ooh. Then we have the final lesson of this book, Share the Abundance. I mean, there are so many other lessons, but these are the 10 lessons that kind of stood out for me. Share the abundance. Happiness is found in doing, not merely possessing. And this has to do with ideas as well. When you have ideas, you might be scared to share them because you think somebody's going to steal them, somebody's going to judge them, somebody's not going to like you. But when you share those ideas, you align with people who think like you or people who can appreciate you, support you, because every creator needs an audience that they're creating for. You're not just creating for yourself at some point. And also when you're doing these things with other people. So if you have creative projects, pursuits, invite other people so that you can collaborate and build things together. And this is very important. Once you get more successful, don't judge other people, especially if they judged you in the beginning. So think twice before you speak, because your words and influence will plant the seed of either success or failure in the mind of another. Remember, when you were starting your journey and people around you were trying to discourage you, do you want to be the same person for them or no? Do you want to be a bigger person or no? Have you learned how to be a bigger person because of your misfortunes? Because it's very easy to put the ego hat and say, well, you didn't support me, why should I support you? But the fact of the matter is you're being given access to this abundance before other people so that you can empower them and be a teacher for them, be a mentor for them, because they were immature, they couldn't support you, but you have matured and you have bloomed and blossomed in the process. So think about that. If success can be given, success can be taken away as well. The same applies to abundance. If abundance can be taken, abundance can be taken away. We see that with leaders who start leading with the ego and they think, well, you didn't support me, I'm going to be vengeful, and so on and so on and so on. Everything that you do comes back to you. So lead with that love, lead with that kindness at all times. Yes, you can say no to people, but don't be rude just because they didn't support you. Understand that it was all part of the plan for you to learn how to strengthen your boundaries. Nature favors collaboration and partnerships. By finding mentors and getting advice from experienced individuals, you can increase your chances for success. So once again, think about the 5 people that you surround yourself with, maybe 3, maybe just 2, who are the most trusted advisors in your life. They can truly help you share that abundance, because if you've become a messenger here for ideas, for winning solutions, if you have unlocked your treasure chest and you found the gifts that you carried that were buried in the garden of your mind because you took the time to investigate what's inside of you and plant some seeds of prosperity, Now it is your duty to share that abundance with others, because this is not just for yourself. You have been given access to all these tools and this knowledge and this guidance so that you can lead other people to build those gardens for themselves and for their own communities. And one last reminder, naturally, close friends and relatives, while not meaning to do so, often handicap one through opinions and sometimes through ridicule, which is meant to be humorous. Again, when you embody that abundance, it might trigger other people because they think, oh, you think you're better than me? That is their immaturity reflected back to them. So that is, you are acting as a mirror to them. What happens when you do the work? What happens when you unlock more of your potential? Be patient with them and let them figure out their own conclusions. Let them figure out how to find their way back to themselves. Because if you go back to the first lesson and you walk through it step by step, you're going to discover that the answers are always in you. And it really is a matter of you slowing down to the point of you being conscious of your mind, of your thoughts, because everything starts with your mind. As I said, this is a book about mindset. That's why it says think and grow rich. This is not a book about making money for the sake of money. This is a book about empowering you to build a more abundant mindset and empowering you to think about money in a way that allows you to connect with people and create opportunities for abundance and create opportunities for growth. Because I'm going to go a step back here and say that education is key for you unlocking more of your potential. The way of success is the way of continuous pursuit of knowledge. So Think and Grow Rich really is a manual on how to keep your self-growth going forward, because that is the only way that you can excel in life, succeed in life. Those that reach a certain level and they stop growing, they will not be able to continue to think and grow rich. They would think in the same land, and at some point, their garden is going to start to perish, because we're using the subconscious mind and the symbolism of garden and the flowers. It is your responsibility as the gardener of that mindset, of your mind, of your inner garden, to always show up for yourself and preserve that garden in optimum conditions. So thank you for watching. Thank you for reading. Thank you for getting your copy of Think and Grow Rich, because the more people think about their mindset, their subconscious mind, their inner world in a way that is allowing them to bloom and blossom and create something more than just, surviving. Books like Think and Grow Rich allow us to unlock more of our potential, and they give us a different understanding of the inner work, because this is not a book about money. This is a book about consciousness. This is a book about energy management. It's a book about becoming the gardener of your inner space. And I have a very interesting book selected for February that I'm going to share with you tomorrow. If you missed this, go back and watch the first few steps. These are 10 lessons that are absolutely going to help you live more abundantly. And if you want to join the reading with me, join the Stellar Book Club at stellayan.com/book club. The next book will be out tomorrow. So thank you for watching. Thank you for reading. Thank you for making the world a better place and investing in your abundance mindset.